is an interesting industry. I've had tons of people that have worked on the cruise line industry on this show, and I learned a lot about cruising that I never knew. But what exactly, when you say you work with the cruise line, do you do?
I do the speaking enrichment talks. In fact, I used to speak a lot at trade shows when I had my business in different places around the world, just about technology that was around at the time. And after I sold the business, I got a call one day, and the person, I can't remember who it was, they said, "Hey, Malcolm, you ever done any public speaking on the cruise ships?" I said, "Well, I've never been on a cruise ship." And that's true. So they asked me to give it a go. And that was back in 2015, I think. I did my first. And I do it periodically now as well. It's just all the different cruise lines. I'm on one this month, actually. I'm leave town next Friday, going to the Caribbean for a couple of days, and go down to Barbados and get on a cruise ship. And I'm talking on that. I've only got 3 talks to make before it comes back to Fort Lauderdale. So that's what I mean. I talk about destinations, adventure travel, foreign cultures, whatever they want. So that's what I've been doing, and it's great because I never thought I'd go on a cruise, but I have a newfound respect why people do that, because it's quite relaxing. Even though I'm talking, I find it very relaxing, and you get to see some places, although maybe not always overnight, but it's relaxing, and it does get you to certain areas of the world if you want, and you get off the ship and do stuff, or after the cruise is finished, you can stay a while. It's got lots of options. So I've learned to have, a lot more respect for why people do now go on cruises. Yeah.
So now you've cruised all different types of cruise lines all around the world, right? Or is it just one cruise line you work with?
No, it's different cruise lines. I've been on about 7 or 8 different ones. So yeah. It depends. Some cruise lines only, so some areas of the world they don't go to, and others they do. So it's different. So, but anyway, yeah. Whenever I may get an opportunity, or luckily that I get a visibility on cruises they've got coming up, and if I'm interested to apply to speak on them, then I may do that. Yeah.
So as far as like the most interesting cruise story, everybody's got a story. What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you on a cruise ship?
That's a good question. Probably earlier on this year, there's one of the luxury versions. I did a transatlantic from Miami over to Lisbon. So obviously I did a lot of talks on route because a lot of sea days. I stopped at the Azores and finally got to Lisbon. And they said, "Malcolm, can you just stay on for another 2 weeks to do a trans-Mediterranean?" I said, "Okay." So I was on a cruise ship for over a month, like transatlantic and trans-Mediterranean for the whole thing. Eventually got off in Athens, Greece, then flew back home. So that was interesting because they asked me to stay. They did about 10 or 11 talks total. So yes, I almost lost my voice, but I survived it. But it was interesting, that was, and these ships weren't overcrowded, but they were just nice, and I found it relaxing, and got to see some of the Mediterranean islands that I'd never expected to see, like Malta and Sicily and some of the Greek islands there. So in a way, it was lovely, long, but I never expected that to be having a transatlantic and a trans-Mediterranean on the same ship at the same time. But anyway, but I've been on the ships. I've had no issues where the ships like hit bad waves, turned over, or done something stupid. No, this seems to be safe. Sometimes rocky a bit, but it's all right.
And these are all different size cruise ships too. Like some of them are the bigger ones that have thousands of people, and some are smaller. Or do you mainly do like the larger size cruise ships?
Well, I did sail a transatlantic once from Southampton over to Orlando, I think. There's Norwegian. There's a 5,000 passengers on board. Wow. And it's like the ship is huge. It's like a floating apartment complex going across the ocean. And I thought, to me, it's too crowded, if you know what I mean. So I prefer the boutique lines. But and I just it depends. It depends on a couple of things: where it's going, if there's any overnight stops, because there is. I'll get off the ship for the night, and the places where it's embarks and disembarks, and need a bit. Depends what cruise lines it is as well. So yeah, it depends on a few things. Or if I thought, well, I'm not doing anything for this month of the year or that month, maybe I'll just do this, hop on a ship for a few weeks, So it depends,
Yeah. So how many cruises a year do you do?
About 3 or 4.
Okay. So not a lot, but enough.
No, because it drags on. Like the one earlier on this year was over a month. Then I went on the one in the Nordics, and that was 2 cruises back to back. Because typically, when you talk on ship, they want you to do back to back cruises. So that lasted at least a month. So I've got this one coming up, one in March, and some others pending for the next year, like lengthy ones, which could take me to Africa and Asia again. I don't know. I just have to see and see what happens. But yeah.
Do they have you stay with the crew itself, or do you have like a regular room like the guests when you're on the?
It depends. It depends on the ship. All cruise lines aren't made the same. Guests come first, obviously. I've stayed in the crew area before, which was a nice room, and I've stayed in the passenger area. It depends. Depends what ship and what they've got available or what they can offer. Probably to entice me to go and talk, I guess. But yeah, anyway, it varies, So it's all good.
Well, the people on the cruise ships are some of the hardest working people. You see people on cruise ship; they work so hard.
Yeah, I tell you, when I go on a cruise ship talk, usually I report to the cruise director, and he or she will have an assistant, but they work extremely hard because they're on the go all the time, and they're entertaining people as well and managing things out. But the people do work on a cruise ship for several months of the year, and they might get a couple of months off. It's different per cruise line, but it's there's people on cruise ships working from all different places in the world.